The vast, sandy expanses of Nevada, stretching to the horizon, conceal many secrets. The dry air and scorching sun create a harsh landscape where life seems almost impossible. Yet it is here, amidst this desert silence, that a tragedy unfolded that shook not only the small town of West Wendover, but all of America. In March 2011, this desert became witness to a horrific crime that forever changed the lives of many people. The story of Micaela Costanzo is a tale of friendship, betrayal, and unspeakable cruelty that can lurk even in the quietest corners of our society. West Wendover, located right on the border of Nevada and Utah, seemed like a typical small town where everyone knows each other. Casinos and hotels attracted tourists, but for local residents it was simply a quiet place to raise children. No one could have imagined that a drama would unfold here that would shock the entire country. When 16-year-old Micaela Costanzo disappeared on March 3, 2011, no one could have predicted how it would change the life of an entire city. Her disappearance and subsequent events revealed the dark side of human nature that was hiding behind the facade of ordinary small-town life. Micaela Costanzo, affectionately called Mickey by her close ones, was born on May 3, 1994, in Elko, Nevada. She was the youngest of 6 children in the family of Cecilia and Theodore Costanzo, Jr. The family lived in West Wendover, a small town on the border of Nevada and Utah, with a population barely exceeding 4,000 people. West Wendover, like many other Nevada towns, was known for its casinos, steakhouses, and luxurious hotels. However, for Micaela, it was simply her hometown where she grew up surrounded by a loving family. From an early age, the girl stood out for her cheerfulness and activity. Micaela had 2 biological sisters and 3 step-siblings from her mother's previous marriage. Despite the age differences, all the children were friendly with each other, and Mickey, as the youngest, enjoyed special attention and love. She grew up as a cheerful, sociable girl who was always the center of attention. The Costanzo family was very concerned about their children's safety. Even when Micaela was already in high school, her parents insisted on driving her to and from school, although the distance was only about 500 meters. This excessive care sometimes surprised others, but for the Costanzo family, the safety of their children was paramount. From childhood, Micaela showed an interest in learning and sports. She excelled in school and actively participated in various sports. She particularly enjoyed basketball and track and field. This versatility and energy made her popular among her peers. Mickey's childhood was spent in an atmosphere of love and support. Her parents, Cecilia and Theodore, worked in local casinos, providing a stable income for the family. Despite their busy schedules, they always found time for their children, especially for the youngest, Micaela. West Wendover, located in the middle of the desert, seemed like a safe place to raise children. The small town where everyone knew each other created an illusion of security. Micaela's parents, like many other residents of the town, believed that their children were safe in this quiet corner of Nevada. At West Wendover High School, Micaela Costanzo quickly became one of the most popular students. Her academic success was combined with outstanding athletic achievements. Mickey was a member of the school basketball team and track and field team, where she showed remarkable abilities. It was during her school years that Micaela met Cody Patton. Cody, a year older than Mickey, was a tall boy standing at 6 feet 8 inches, known for his love of football and martial arts. They lived in the same housing complex, which fostered the beginning of their friendship. Cody and Micaela quickly found common ground. they were united by their love for sports and an active lifestyle. They often spent time together, playing various games or just talking. This friendship seemed strong and innocent, typical for teenagers their age. In addition to sports, Micaela showed an interest in journalism. She became the editor of the school newspaper, demonstrating her organizational skills and creative potential. These diverse interests made her popular among classmates and teachers. The situation changed when Tony Fratto appeared in Cody's life. Tony, a peer of Micaela's, was the complete opposite of her rival. If Mickey was open and sociable, Tony was known for being reserved and shy. Tony came from a religious Mormon family where marriage at an early age was the norm. Perhaps this influenced her decision to start a serious relationship with Cody, despite their young age. They met at school in 2009, and soon their relationship grew into something more than just a school romance. Cody seemed so in love with Tony that he even agreed to accept her faith. He moved in with the Fratto family, which was an unusual step for a teenager his age. Tony's parents, although concerned about this decision, still accepted Cody, hoping they could positively influence his life. Tony's appearance in Cody's life led to changes in his behavior and relationships with others, especially with Micaela. The friendship between Cody and Mickey, which previously seemed so strong, began to experience tension. Tony was obviously jealous of Cody's longtime friend, which created additional strain in their relationships. With Tony Fratto's appearance in Cody Patton's life, the atmosphere at West Wendover High School began to change. Tony, who had previously been quiet and inconspicuous, now openly showed her dislike for Micaela. Jealousy, which at first seemed unfounded, began to affect the behavior of all three teenagers. Micaela, who had always been friendly and open, began to feel uncomfortable in Tony's presence. Mickey's sisters and friends noticed that Tony often made unpleasant comments about her, calling her offensive names. This led to Micaela distancing herself from Cody, trying to avoid conflicts. Cody's behavior also underwent changes. Friends noticed that he became more aggressive and unpredictable. One incident shocked many. Cody approached Micaela in the school corridor and suddenly made a movement towards her arm. At first, Micaela didn't understand what had happened, but then she discovered that her arm was bleeding. It turned out that Cody had used a box cutter, considering it a joke. This incident became a turning point in the relationship between Micaela and Cody. After this, Mickey decided to limit communication with her former friend as much as possible, restricting herself to formal greetings when they met. Tony seemed satisfied with this turn of events. However, her jealousy did not diminish. In her diary, she often wrote about her fears and insecurities regarding her relationship with Cody. She was afraid that he might leave her for Micaela, despite there being no grounds for such fears. The tension in the relationships between the three teenagers continued to grow. The school community began to notice these changes, but few could have predicted the tragic consequences this would lead to. March 3, 2011 began as a usual school day for Micaela Costanzo. She woke up, had breakfast with her family, and headed to school. On this day, her older sister Christina, who usually drove Micaela to school, was away in Las Vegas with her husband. The school day passed without any notable events. Micaela attended her classes, including track and field practice after school. Usually, she would be picked up after practice, but this time she was supposed to walk home since Christina was absent. Micaela was last seen around 5 p.m. when she was leaving school. According to witnesses, she looked calm and showed no signs that anything was wrong. Micaela had to walk about a mile to her house, a distance she had never covered alone before. Micaela's mother, Cecilia, was working that evening at the Wendover Nugget Casino. She expected her daughter to call her, as always, to report that she had returned home. When the call didn't come, Cecilia began to worry. Around 6 p.m., Cecilia tried to call Micaela, but her daughter's phone didn't answer. She called again, and this time it seemed that someone declined the call. This was absolutely uncharacteristic for Micaela, who always maintained contact with her family. Worried, Cecilia contacted Christina in Las Vegas, hoping that she might have communicated with Micaela earlier. However, Christina knew nothing about her sister's whereabouts. When it became clear that Micaela hadn't returned home and wasn't answering calls, panic gripped the Costanzo family. Cecilia asked for permission to leave work early and rushed home, hoping to find her daughter there. But only the middle sister, DJ, was at home, who also had no information about Micaela. When it became obvious that Micaela hadn't returned home, the Costanzo family sprang into action. DJ, Micaela's sister, immediately started calling all friends and acquaintances, hoping to get any information about her sister's whereabouts. She left messages begging Micaela to contact the family if this was some kind of joke. Around 8 p.m., when all attempts to find Micaela proved futile, the family decided to contact the police. Detective Donald Burnham, who took the report, immediately understood the seriousness of the situation. He didn't wait for the traditional 24 to 48 hours before starting the investigation, understanding that every minute could be crucial. News of Micaela's disappearance spread quickly through the small town. By late evening, about 80 West Wendover residents had voluntarily joined the search. People searched streets, parks, and the outskirts of the town, hoping to find any traces of the missing girl. The police began questioning Micaela's friends and acquaintances. One of the first to be interrogated was her boyfriend, Javier. He reported that he hadn't seen Micaela after school and had no information about her whereabouts. Detectives also checked Micaela's phone records. It turned out that the last calls and messages were not to Javier or family, but to her old friend Cody Patton. This raised suspicion among the investigators. During the investigation, the police turned their attention to Cody Patton. His interrogation took place on March 4th, the day after Micaela's disappearance. Cody looked tired and depressed, which was initially attributed to his participation in the night searches. Cody said that he last saw Micaela around 5:30 p.m. near the school. According to him, she was with someone who looked like her boyfriend, Javier. This information contradicted previous testimonies, which aroused suspicion among the detectives. Meanwhile, Christina, Micaela's sister, returned from Las Vegas and decided to search for her sister on her own. She drove around the outskirts of the town, including visiting gravel pits, a desert area near the town. Unknowingly, she passed just a few meters from where Micaela's body was hidden. On March 5th, a volunteer participating in the search noticed tire tracks leading into the desert. Following them, he discovered a disturbed patch of earth covered with sagebrush. Under the bushes, he saw what appeared to be blood and immediately notified the authorities. The police quickly arrived at the scene and began a thorough examination of the area. Within an hour, a shallow grave was discovered containing a body. Although there was no official confirmation yet, everyone understood that it was most likely Micaela. The discovery of the body became a turning point in the investigation. Now, the case moved from the category of disappearance to murder, and investigators focused on finding those responsible for this horrible crime. The discovery of Micaela's body shocked the entire West Wendover community. detectives waited 12 hours for forensic experts from Reno to arrive for official identification of the deceased and to conduct an autopsy. The autopsy revealed horrifying details of the crime. Micaela had suffered numerous stab wounds to her face and neck. She had been beaten with a shovel, and her head was nearly crushed. Her neck was so severely cut that the girl was practically decapitated. Even experienced detectives were shocked by the brutality of the crime. Christina, Micaela's sister, upon learning of the discovery, experienced an emotional shock. She recalled how she had driven past this place during her searches, not suspecting that her sister's body was so close. After the body was discovered, the investigation focused on Cody Patton. A review of school surveillance camera footage showed that Cody had lied about seeing Micaela with Javier. In fact, the cameras captured Cody and Micaela leaving school together. On March 7th, Cody's father, Kip Patton, brought his son to the police station for reinterrogation. Under the pressure of evidence, Cody broke down and confessed to his involvement in Micaela's death. However, his version of events was dubious. According to Cody, Micaela allegedly asked him to break up with Tony and start dating her. When he refused, she supposedly attacked him. In the course of the struggle, she allegedly hit her head and died. This version clearly did not correspond to the nature of the injuries found during the autopsy. Cody was arrested and charged with a second-degree murder. However, investigators suspected that he did not act alone. On April 22, 2011, a surprise occurred. Tony Fratto, Cody's fiancée, appeared at the office of Cody's lawyer, John Olson, and confessed to her involvement in the murder. She said that she was present during the attack on Micaela and helped Cody. Tony's confession led to her arrest and murder charges. Her version of events differed from Cody's. According to her, Cody planned to get rid of Micaela, and she reluctantly agreed to help. During the investigation, shocking details emerged. Entries were found in Tony's diary that indicated her deep jealousy towards Micaela and fear of losing Cody. This confirmed the theory that jealousy was the main motive for the crime. In May 2012, Cody Patton pleaded guilty to first-degree murder to avoid the death penalty. He was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Tony Fratto, in turn, made a deal with the prosecution. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 18 years. The murder of Micaela Costanzo deeply affected the West Wendover community. The town, which was previously considered safe for raising children, now became a symbol of hidden danger. The Costanzo family experienced unspeakable grief. Cecilia, Micaela's mother, appeared on television with an emotional appeal, calling for justice. Micaela's sisters, especially DJ and Christina, suffered greatly from the loss. DJ recalled how she screamed in pain when she learned of her sister's death. Changes were made at West Wendover High School to increase student safety. Micaela's basketball jersey was hung on the gym wall in her memory. Students gathered to paint a large rock with the inscription, "Mickey, we love you." Micaela's funeral was open to the public, and over 1,000 people attended. The farewell ceremony was filled with emotions, with friends and relatives remembering how joyful and kind Micaela was. After the trial, Cody Patton was sent to the maximum security Ely State Prison in Nevada. Tony Fratto is serving her sentence at the Elko County Jail, also in Nevada. In August 2018, while in prison, Cody married a 26-year-old woman named Amanda Smith. It's unknown whether they knew each other before his imprisonment, but it seems their relationship began through correspondence. In April 2021, having served almost 10 years of her term, Tony Fratto had her first parole hearing. Her request was denied, and the next hearing is scheduled for 2024. Micaela's family expressed disagreement with Tony's sentence, considering it too lenient. In their opinion, Tony was not just an accomplice but a key figure in planning and carrying out the crime. Despite the confessions and convictions, many questions about Micaela's murder remain unanswered. The versions of events given by Cody and Tony contradict each other and the evidence. The motives for the crime remain a matter of debate. Although Tony's jealousy is believed to be the main reason, some aspects of the case remain unclear. For example, Cody's role in all of this? Was he a manipulated victim or an active participant? This tragedy has led many to reflect on the nature of teenage relationships, the dangers of unhealthy jealousy, and the importance of being attentive to changes in young people's behavior. The murder of Micaela Costanzo was a brutal reminder that even the most peaceful communities can harbor dark secrets. The event sparked discussions about the need for better protection of adolescents and the importance of early detection of problematic behavior. In West Wendover and other small towns, new youth safety and psychological support programs were introduced. Schools have begun to pay more attention to fostering healthy interpersonal relationships and recognizing the signs of relationship violence. Micaela Costanzo's story remains a painful reminder of how quickly lives can change and the need to be vigilant and compassionate to those around us. Her tragic fate continues to impact the lives of many people, serving as a warning and a call for greater attention and care in our communities.